So a very warm good afternoon to one and all present here.
Sanjeev sir, are you listening me?
Yeah. Am I audible, sir?
Yes.
Yeah. Thank you, sir. Thank you. I welcome all the participants and distinguished guests on the second day of Faculty Development Program organized by Department of Sociology, NAS College Meerut and Research Foundation International New Delhi, International Roma Cultural University Serbia, India and ASDF International London. It's my pleasure that we have with us Dr. R.C. Sharma sir from B.R. Ambedkar University, Delhi. It's our proud privilege. Sir is a renowned academician and a master in Mendeley and citing references. I have got an opportunity to listen to Sir in our last workshop on research
Sanjeev
methodology.
sir, you are not audible.
Sir, it is all a problem from your side.
Yeah, it is audible.
Yeah. When I say you. So now request, okay, sir. Now I request RK sir to please present a brief profile of RC Sharma sir.
That is not needed.
Minute. RK sir, please.
Hello.
Yeah, please speak.
Should I speak?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, you are
Thank you,
audible.
Dr. Sanjeev. Good afternoon and welcome to respected guests, panelists, and all the participants in this 7-day faculty development program. In this session, we have with us highly distinguished panelist, Dr. R.C. Sharma sir. Dr. Sharma sir will enlighten us about managing and citing references in academic writings, which is very important aspect to know for academic writings. This is my privilege to introduce and welcome respected Dr. Sharma sir. Dr. Sharma is Associate Professor at the School of Global Affairs, Dr. B.R. Ambedkar University, Delhi. Dr. Sharma has his expertise in open and distance learning technology, mediated learning, and learning resources. He enjoys a very wide exposure and teaching experience at different universities of the world, namely WASM Open University Malaysia, UNEB Salvador Brazil, University of Fiji, University of Guyana, South America. He has worked as Director Commonwealth Educational Media Center for Asia, New Delhi, and Regional Director IGNOU. He is associated as editor with various journals of national and international repute. He has contributed several books and research papers on educational technology, multimedia, and e-learning. I once again welcome you, sir, and now I invite Dr. Sharma, sir, to enlighten us on referencing in academic writings. Thank you very much, sir. You are most welcome, sir. Please, sir.
I'm sorry, my microphone was muted. No, you will be able to hear now. But Dr. Sanjeev, can you please activate the sharing screen? It is just showing me only new whiteboard and share file. If I share, no. Not coming up. It is not showing me that option for yes. To share the content. Or maybe you can make me host if that can work. More options, copy, audio connection, connection to device.
Sir, what happened, sir?
It is showing me only two options for sharing my screen, either a share a file. Share a file means the file will be uploaded into the chat box, which is not our purpose. And secondly, it shows me only two options, share file or new whiteboard. New whiteboard means I can scribble something on it. It is not showing me the window to share my screen or share my window. That is not coming up.
Sir, if you see share, there are file share, file edit share, and then share. No, it's not showing the option.
No. Maybe please check my, I think I'm connected with you. You make it my Dr. RC Sharma one, not the RCS MOOC. You will find two users.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
One is Dr. RC Sharma. You make the RC Sharma the panelist or the presenter.
RC Sharma is.
Dr. RC Sharma is written my screen name.
Yeah. Do you want to change the presenter to RC to Dr.
Okay.
I think now
Yes.
you have.
Yeah.
Yes.
We have the solution for all the problems.
Yeah, definitely, sir.
Actually, this is very interesting. I remembered it. I forgot the name of the person, but I liked his statement very much. He was saying that we all have problems in our lives. So what we can do, we cannot solve the problems, but we can handle the problems.
Yeah.
So you have handled the problem in a fantastic way. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Okay, friends, today we are going to see some of and basically this is very important and very good for those of you who are doing research, involved in research on both the accounts. Either you are supervising someone for research work as a PhD supervisor or thesis supervisor in some capacity, or you are doing research, means either you are writing article or if you yourself is a PhD scholar. The referencing, the citation is one of the important parts of any research. Means it will be there. There may be other things depending on the nature of your research, which may or may not be there. Say, for example, experimental research is one of the type of research, but every time you don't do experimental research, you can avoid it. You can have some sort of desktop research or historical research or action research or something like that, but you cannot avoid citation. That has to be there if you are working, and it's very essential also. The reason being that we need to know that what has happened before us. We go ahead with our work there. So first question is, what is a citation? We consider there have been some fantastic scientists in our lifetime. And in our lifetime means we have not seen them in person, but not so long ago, not in ancient history. Say like Newton, he has been considered as one of the greatest scientists there, along with Einstein and so many, world-known figures with us. So he has, to his credit, many discoveries, inventions. He was a great experimenter, gave us so much of knowledge like that. Once he said a very interesting thing. He said that it is not that I have created everything on my own. I could do those things because I was standing on the shoulders of giants. दूसरे के, because he could see the others, what the others, those who didn't have that facility, they could see that. So that is the purpose, that when you do the research, you definitely you would like to check that what has been done before you. And if you find that something is good for you, which you need to refer, say for example, say here, this is an article, emergency remote teaching in a time of global crisis due to coronavirus pandemic. And here on the screen, you will find two of the studies mentioned. One is Marshall McLuhan, and he said somewhere in 1962 that at the end of the day, the lesson was very simple. With online or offline, the world is a global village. So he gave that term of global village. With connecting everything with there, we have become, because anything which happens in one part of the world, if something goes on wrong in Brazil, immediately we can find it from here. It is not the time when the people, they used to send pigeons, although I don't know if you know it or not, and I think I'm correct because I read it very recently somewhere, that the Odisha is the only state in India where still the postal department, they use pigeon for sending the messages. I hope I'm correct. I read it right somewhere. So they are using that kabutar ja. That thing is still there. But otherwise, with the help of internet, anything happens anywhere, you immediately know. So we have become a global village. And the another quotation by Lawrence in 1972, a bird fly flapping its wings in Asia can cause a hurricane around the world. This quotation, we found that it was our article to find something of emergency remote teaching. And we could relate it because an invisible organism which we cannot see from our own eyes, the coronavirus, it has put all the world at a ransom. Everything has stopped, and at present we are number 3 in the world after Brazil and America. And it looks like if the speed is not controlled, we may become number 1 very soon, like that. So we found that this statement is very relevant for our article. A butterfly flapping its wings in Asia, butterfly, it wings, and then when you wing like the pankha, the fan, it is moving, it's spread where, but it could, instead of a small whirlwind, it brought out a hurricane for whole other, to represent this situation of corona. If something you find it very useful, you cite it. So that way, how to do citation. Now, let me give you an activity, an exercise, that for that I need to change my screen. So just give me 1 minute and I will share my screen again. Okay, here it is. And where is there? Okay, this way. And stop. Okay. We are about to do. You want to stop application sharing? Don't share. We cancel it. Now, I want to show you this tool also so that you can also use it. This is to get the answers, responses from live audience during your presentation, and you can very well use it in your online classes also, whenever it is there is some need for that, and it is super easy. You don't need to create any login ID into it or something, anything. It just simply click on this create answer garden, and you can write your question here. So the question is, how do you define citation? This is the question. And then what you need to do, that there are certain, if although these are not compulsory but optional, useful for you to understand that if you are going to use it, how you can use it. There are 4 modes in which you can use it. One is brainstorming, in which unlimited number of responses can be submitted by unlimited number of participants. So all of you, how many of you are at present? Let me see. Okay, more than 300 are present. So everyone can contribute. In classroom mode, unlimited responses, but only one by one person. Moderator means you can, ask the participants, they will put in there, but when you approve them, then they will appear on the screen. And logs means no more answer accepting. You can make it 20 character or 40 character in length. The advantage here is that it allows your participants to think only the concise, the relevant answer. There is no need for extra words, extra sentences into the answer. So something like you use Twitter for that something. If you want, you can give administrative password so that those people to whom you don't want to share it, they may not use it. You want, you can send your email ID. It will send you a message with the URL for this activity, spam filter, to filter off certain unwanted words. And this is uppercase or lowercase. How do you want the answers to appear into that? Normally, we do not prefer uppercase. The reason being that in internet, we have a term called as netiquettes. The etiquettes on the internet, netiquettes. And one of the netiquettes says that do not shout. So what is shouting? Shouting is when you type everything in uppercase. So there are 2 disadvantages of that. If everything you type in uppercase, the person who has to read it, their speed will be lower. It is not easy to read everything, a whole paragraph which has been written in all uppercase letters. You try to doing something like that. It reduces your speed of reading. And secondly, it looks like someone is shouting. That's why when email practices were going on there, it was advised, don't type in all in uppercase, so that way. And then how long you think that your questions can remain available to you? 1 hour, 1 week, one like that, anytime. Just only 2 things are needed. Create your question on the top and click on this create button. So here it is created. It is as simple as that. Now let me share this link with you. And here it comes in the chat box. In the chat box, you can click on it. When you click on it, it will open this window on your screen. And then you can just type within the box your answer. What is citation? Just give simple answer to this question. What is a citation? It won't ask you any login or any password something. Just okay, very good. Quoting someone's work in article. Yes, correct. Good. It is a reference. Okay. Bringing out what had been said before. Books, journal reference, quoting someone's work in our article. A reference to another work or article. It means quoting someone else. Okay, you are free to write into the chat, but it is better if you type it here. Because everybody can see the screen visible here on this answer garden. See, the number is increasing. A reference to someone else, reviewing to quote someone's idea. A reference to another work or article, quoting from a book or journal. It is a quotation from someone else's work. Wonderful. bringing out what has been said before. Great. You see, what you are responding now, it is coming up here. Some of the words, they are in bigger in size. It means they have been said multiple times. That's why its size increases. Okay, good. This shows that you have the understanding of what is a citation. We use citations. It means citing something. What other, like it is saying here, bringing out what has been said before. And said here doesn't mean only verbally. The people can be quoted that they said verbally, but in research world, mostly what has been published is accepted because you have the evidence of that. That look here, it was published in this way, so it goes from there. So let me come back to my presentation again. Okay, here it is. Now for you, okay, I need to, I won't be able to copy it from here, but later on I will put it into the chat box. This is one of my guidelines paper, that how to cite social media in research papers. Why do we need it? I thought that because nowadays, normally you have research journals, books, conference proceedings, websites, etc., where you find certain relevant research for your work and you cite them there. But nowadays, social media is heavily used by all kind of people. They may include educationists, scientists, politicians, educators, anyone. And if you find something catchy, which you think that it has a good link with the work, how to cite anything which is appearing on Facebook, which has appeared in Twitter, how to cite a tweet, how to cite something which is on YouTube, etc. So this this article explains all those processes, various social media platforms, and if something you want to quote from there, how to do that. You can download this paper, or even if you make a Google search on academia, RC Sharma citation social media, maybe you can reach it. Otherwise, at the end, we can paste this link into the chat message in the chat box where you can download it. Now, let us see what are various forms of citations and how do we do that. If it is a book, how to cite them? What are the factors which you need to take care of this? So in a book, mostly what are the elements we need? We need the author name, whether it is a single author, solo author book, or edited book. In that case, there may be more than one authors, and they become editors at that time. The title of the book, from where it has been published, means who has published that, and the place, the date of publication. It is very important because sometimes we bring out various editions of that. So first edition came, then second edition, then third edition, so that you can pinpoint your reader that this is the resource from where it has been taken. So normally we cite something from the book. Then you cite something from a research journal. If it is a research journal, what do we need from there? We need the author who has published that work, the title of that work, the journal name, and what is the issue number or volume number or year number. Normally it is like volume 1 number 12012 and something that is there, and page number. Normally in case of printed journals, it is page numbers. In case of online journals, we give either the URL, but nowadays instead of URL, we prefer DOI for the articles there. We will come to that very soon. Then next is the newspaper. If something has printed, published in the newspaper. How do you cite a newspaper report there? And although the newspaper articles, they are, or the news, they are not considered as to be the research strong, but still they hold a significance value, because the newspapers, they report what is happening. And in that case, sometimes we may need to cite something which has appeared in the newspapers. In that case, we need to be sure of collecting some information about who has published that news. And in that case, there may be two ways. One is the name of the person, say like Arnab Goswami. I'm just taking the example. Otherwise, he appears on TV. He doesn't write articles for the normally for the newspapers, but just an example. Or say like Times News Network or CNN, something like that, in which the agency puts their name, but definitely the name will be there, the title of that news or report or whatever it is. And then we need to also cite the edition or the section. Say, for example, here the newspaper which you see, it is Times City edition, because you know that there are sports section, there are entertainment sections, then business section, something like that. There, in which section? The purpose is to let our reader understand that if we have cited something, if we have referred something from some other source, if they want to know more in detail, because you can't just publish everything on their own. You are telling them that, look, here is the thing, the main concept which I have taken from there, but the original thing, the original content lies available here. If you want, you can read it from there. That is the purpose of these citations. How do we send someone to its original source, original location? Then comes very much in use, the website. Many of the information nowadays, since the many of the journals, they have gone online, not many available in the print format, the website. And it is not only the website for the journals, the website for any other thing also. Say like sometimes you may like to cite for corona spread, and you want to go to WHO site, because WHO has a corona dashboard. Anytime you can go there and see the latest statistics. And if you want to tell that at present, the world is the worldwide statistics, you refer to that. But then you need to tell that from where you have taken that data. Similarly, those of you may be knowing that indiastat.com. Yeah, Anupamji, you can get that document on which I have explained the process of how to cite in a social media. I will share the link. Otherwise, somebody who has taken a snapshot of that, then you can type it into the chat from there. Otherwise, just wait for a few more minutes. I'll share that link with you, or I can show you the website also. From there, you can download it. It is free download for you. Most of my work is under Creative Commons license, so you can use it for your own work. I feel happy if my material can be of use to someone. So website. If it is website, what do we need to have? What is that website? And what is the name of that? Say, for example, here, the Aras Bozkurt, my friend, my co-editor from Turkey, he is the author. This is his blog, blogspot.com. You can see the website. And this is the title of the work. An upgraded version, a global outlook to disruption of education in there. This is on the blog. So what do we need? We need to know who is the author, where it has been published, when it has been published, and the URL for that. Again, purpose remains same. If somebody clicks on that URL, it should take it to that website, and then they can read in detail from there what is available to them from there. Then you sometimes may need to cite something which has been said by someone. As I said previously, verbally. Interview is happening, but it is not necessary that it is verbal only. It may later on be printed in the newspaper or in some magazine, something like that. Or if it was live broadcast, say on radio, television, or any other mass media there, so then you note something. Then again, the things which remain common is that who took the interview, who was interviewed, what was the context, and the date of interview. From there, we can mention, we can quote something that, oh, okay, Bill Clinton during his interview at that time said that, like that. If it is a printed interview, then you have the exact evidence. Otherwise, you quote the media link into it, from where the other person, they can go and can check about it from there. Then similarly, this is also another media variety. It is called as podcast. Podcast is a form of audio message. Like you have seen normal radio, Vivid Bharti and those kind of things. And then you know about FM stations. We have so many FM stations. You keep on changing the channels and listen to the music. Similarly, this is a kind of an internet radio kind of broadcast on which you create some audio messages, and it can be about anything. It is your audio message. You can sing a song, you can recite a poetry, you can give some verbal message, you can talk about, you can give a speech or anything. But when you upload it there and you find that, okay, someone said very interesting thing, and if you want to use it in your thing, how you are going to cite it in there. So what you need here, the platform name, platform site name, or the URL address in there, then the name of the profile of that site on which the person has uploaded something, and when it has been put into that. Say, for example, here for this particular thing, the citation would be as appear at the bottom of the screen, Sharma Parveen, and you have a treasure within you. That is the title of the talk, and it is an audio blog post which was released by Teacher Parv, because Teacher Parv is the account on 20th of June, available at this platform. So simply, if you click on this URL given there, you will be reaching to this. You can verify the content, you can see, and if you want to know more about it, you can go there. Another variety comes in terms of play, literature. Something something happened there, and you need to cite it. Say, for example, how do you use it? Scene numbers, line numbers from the script, which you get there, and then separated by periods. For this is the scene number 4 and mentioned at line number 452. For example, in this Onegin rejects Tanya when she is free to be his and only decides he wants her when she is already married. These are the dialogues from this, which was written by Pushkin, available at 4.4. This is the scene number and the line number from there. So this way it is quoted in that way. Now, if there is drama, then you may have poem also, and there are various poets. Like this poem is by Dr. Bhavna Batra, and the poem's name is Nature's Divergence. It is available on poeticbhavna.blogspot.com, so that is online there. So you have various things. You have the author name, you have the site name, you have the site URL, and you have the name of the poem, and the poem is there. So if you want to cite certain lines from there, for example, the nature has a symmetrical role play, quiescence and cacophony fancy together, line number 8 and 9. So that way, inside within the text, the citation will go Batra, lines 8, 9. And at the end of your work, you will cite it in full, like Batra, B or Batra, Bhavna. And then 2020, you can see 28th June, this poem was released with the name Nature's Divergence on this URL, which you can find from there. So that way you cite it. Now, there are various unique identifiers which identify a work. There are various kind of unique identifiers. One of them is ISBN. It is a subscription number for book, and it is unique. Why it is needed? Because among the large databases, when you have millions of books and when the titles are same, if you make a simple Google search on, say, fundamentals of calculus, you can find lakhs or thousands of books on the same title. Cellular biology, there may be hundreds of books with the same title. how do you differentiate them? And you can't go on checking author name or the publisher name or something or something. Even a same publisher may publish the book with the same titles by different authors. And there is no law who is prohibiting them. If Dr. Sanjeev is publishing a book from say Sharma Publications, and Sharma Publications comes request Dr. R.K. Sharma that sir, can you also write a book with the same topic? He can publish it. So, but how do we differentiate in that? ISBN, it's a unique number. Given all the countries, they have this facility, and there are no charges for it. The only thing is that now you have to apply for it. Previously, so far, those publishers, they used to get a list of ISBN numbers, and whenever they release a book, they will just take it from there and paste it something like sticker. What is the significance of it? This is something similar kind of a barcode. And with the help of barcode reader, you can immediately, it's the metadata hidden into it. It tells that who is the publisher, when it was published, what is the price of that, who is the author of that, all that metadata information goes into it, so that the search becomes easy. And the machines, they can find it faster, where there is automated system. And that's why you see in the libraries, they give you the code from there to make it easy. Now, in case of that, ISBN is in case of books. But if it is a journal, in case of journals, we give ISSN. Now, the question to you, you can type it into the chat box. What is the full form of ISSN? Exercise for you. You can type into the chat box of this application. International serial standard serial number. Okay, standard serial number. Good. This is now the journals. They are the given ISSN number to make them unique identifier from other kind of publications into it. So they are given ISSN number. And say like in India, it is the ISSN office is in New Delhi. There you send your request to them, and it is given for different, for print-based version and online version, and they cannot be used there. If your journal is printed one, it will have a different and any journal can have two ISSN numbers, both, if it exists in both the formats, print-based as well as online-based. In that case, you need to define it. Hemant ji, I will come to that on YouTube. I mean citations. How do we do that? Otherwise, all these things, they are in that article. When we maybe if we can download or open it, we can show it to you there in that. Now, another one is DOI. DOI. What is DOI? Next question to you. What is DOI? What is the full form of DOI? You can make a Google search. Digital Object Identifier. Yes, Sanjana ji, very right. Digital Object Identifier. Yes, Dr. Kunal, you are right. Now the question is, why DOI is needed? You can have the URL. This is my book on global e-learning practices, which is available on internet, and this book is a Scopus book. Our book, it got indexed into the Scopus book. So all my authors who got their chapter published in this book, they are very happy. Oh, we have got a Scopus publication. Because you may be knowing that in India, we have that UGC care list and that other, those kind of issues are there. So if you get anything published into the Scopus or World of Science, you get weightage, more marks, more recognition into it. So that way. So this book, you can easily go its URL. But why nowadays we are having DOI? Anybody who will reply? Why we are going? Let me see. DOI is needed directly to follow, open that article. Okay. It helps to locate a document from citation. Okay. Means not fully correct, but correct. Now, I won't give, say, 100 out of 100 for that answer, but definitely the answer is right. And when you type into the chat box, kindly type when all participants are visible, because these messages are coming to me as private message. So others who are, viewing it, they may not be able to read your messages. So when you just start typing in the to field, if you click it, please select all participants, and then your answer will be visible to everyone. Otherwise, whatever you are sending it to me, I am receiving it as a private message. Okay, Dr. Shuashi says before publication DOI is given. Yeah, before publication means definitely it is assigned to it. But okay, let me tell you the reason is it, and which my two friends, who are they? Dr. Deepesh and Anna Varke. I'm sorry, I could not pronounce it really. And where Dr. Jitendra Kaur has said it, that sometimes online data is archived. So with the help of DI, yes, you are right. And Sanjana's answer is correct. The reason is that all participant option is not shown. No, you need to click it, the triangle in which the to field is there, and then from the drop down you will find on the top all participants will be there. Otherwise rest all 300 of you, your numbers will be there. The reason is that Dr. Tapan says, I'm not getting the question. The question is, why do we need DOI? The answer is, we need DOI because a website, a URL can change. My publisher, IGI Global, for this book, they have a web page, and tomorrow if they update their website, that web page can change. Its URL may change. In that case, if somebody wants to go there, error 404, that HTML error, it may come, page not found. But DOI is a permanent thing. Once assigned it, it will not change. That is the reason. That's why nowadays, even research articles, if you publish your article in a good journal nowadays, if you read the submission guidelines, there they may mention it to you that we prefer DOI instead of URL, website URL. And because it is a permanent thing, you can really, my audio is not there. No, I'm not muted. So please check if it is something happening there. In case sometimes if you don't get it, it is a good idea to log out and log in again. That may sometimes solve the problem. Okay, so that is the purpose of DOI. I wanted to focus more in it because nowadays many of the good journals, they prefer DOI for the articles, and most of the articles nowadays which are published online, they are assigned DOI. The journals also prefer to assign DOI to their own. And not only that, we get the DOI for books also, because that becomes the permanent resource place. Anybody at any time, it won't change there. Then there is another one, a resource. It is called as PMID. PMID. Can anyone guess what is that? PMID. Of course, you can make a Google search and you can type into the chat. I don't mind. Feel free to go. But when you type, use your own interpretation of that. What is PMID? You see here these three researches which I have quoted. They all are from health sciences. So PMID is for, I replied, but sure not visible. PubMed identifier. Yes, Priyank, you are right. The research which is conducted into the medical field, they are given a separate kind of identifier, which is the medical identifier given to them. So those publications which are into that field, because they are unique in nature, and that's why they are given a different kind of ID so that the people they can exchange. So for example, here you can see the published has been searched, or there is the Nature article. There is another that EJNMM resource journal into it, or it is the National Cancer Policy Forum, which about the Washington. So all are different kind of platforms which publish that research, and they are given that PMID into it there. So now with this background, let us see what are the systems of citations. How do we cite a particular statement or some text or some content? How to cite it? There are broadly available two kind of systems. Vancouver system, which is what? Sometimes you must have seen that there is a text which is surrounded with brackets, a square bracket, or you have some sort of superscript in there. Say like if you have text full stop Vancouver system, and then at the end of Vancouver system you will find some 1 or 2 or 3 written as superscript. This is called as Vancouver system. There is another system, it is called as parenthetical referencing, in which you have the author name surrounded with those round brackets. So, and this is also called as the Harvard style. Let's see how this. Say, for example, this is the article which I showed you in the beginning of my presentation. This is the text from there, that during the COVID pandemic, with similarity and dissimilarity, it was the emergency remote education that was applied. And it can be further argued that emergency remote education is a branch of distance education, as in the case of, we say, online learning is similar to e-learning, similar to m-learning, or similar to homeschooling, something like that. And at the end, there is one, you can see. So that way. Here we write, when within the text body, we write one. And at the end, this here, there are two options to you. Either at the end of that page, and your MS Word or any other word processing system, it automatically creates footnotes. It will automatically create, and it will stay on which page this one superscript comes, the text will stay there. This reference will stay there. Rest of the text, it will adjust automatically. Either it will keep it up or send it to the next page, but this reference will stay on that page. So it is always easy if there is some sort of this superscript, just you go to the bottom of that page, or add as end note at the end of your article or your chapter or something there. So that is this style. The another style is putting that within the these round brackets, like Bhojkurt and Sharma 2020. So here the author name comes, their surnames, and the year in which, and the full reference will go at the end. The references are always given at the end. Now this brings us to another thing. Here there are certain terminologies in research. Most popular of them are references and bibliography. Now, what is the difference between references and bibliography? Or there is no difference, they are same, one and the same thing. You can say reference or you can say bibliography, they are the same thing. What do you say? Are they same or are they different? And if yes, how? Anupamji says different. Okay. Jatinder says different. Shakshi, Shashi says Tapan, same. Tapanji. Okay, Tapanji. In what way they are same? And others, Sana says different. In what way they are different? Vinit says different. Babita different. Most of you are saying different. Okay. Lilika says they are different. Shikha says different. Nasuruddin says different. Saikya says different. Prabha. Somebody says same. I want to know they means they are bibliography is used. Okay. I need to, because it is scrolling so fast on my screen. I need to open it. Okay. Bibliography is used. References means specific quotation. Bibliography is used for book. References for website. Raniji. You have said bibliography is used for book reference, used for website. I will make that clarification. But here, Dr. Manisha says same. Okay. Prabha Thodam says same. Barnali Sharma says different. Pankaj says different. Bharti Sagar says different. Sarla Sisodia different. Okay. I can make that majority of you are saying different. And Kim Mar, I'm sorry, I'm not able to say your name properly. Bibliography refers to primary or secondary materials we read. References are those works which have practically referred in the work. Wonderful. Oh, now, first of all, they are not the same thing. They are different things. But what makes them different is that we need to understand first what is a bibliography. The difference between them is that bibliography is everything, the whole list. That is a bibliography. You wanted to, you referred some materials and you made a list of those resources which you consulted. The list which you prepared will be known as the bibliography. Now, within the bibliography, there may be many or few works which you use in your research. They become the reference. So a reference is that which you have actually used in your work. In bibliography, it may or may not be. So bibliography is the whole list of complete, your database, full everything what you have there. So, and then work cited or work consulted is you consulted it, you got the idea, but you have not cited it. And works cited means sometimes there may be certain works which are not finalized, which are say work in progress, something, but you can cite them from, say for example, Wikipedia entries. They are always being updated there. So you cite them, but that is the work cited. From there it goes into it. Bibliographic is a specific reference. And no, Rajiv, bibliography means it is a whole list of your references. From there it is being used, but you may or may not be using everything into that. But I'm happy that you have a good knowledge about it. It is different. Reference is cited work, bibliography the detail. Yeah, wonderful, Ganesh ji. You have clearly explained it there. So let's go. Let's see various kind of styles which are being used. We have various types of styles we use for citation purposes. We have APA, we have MLA, Chicago, Blue Book, ALWD, ASA, Harvard, Vancouver, this, that, etc., etc. So many things. APA. What is full form of APA? American Psychological Association. How do we use them? Where are these areas where they are being used? And this will make you aware that if you were limited to your only work area, today you will be surprised that we have so much of the variety into it. Yes, Shilpi, you are right, American Psychological Association. It was created, in fact, they have become a standard. And those of you, let me just type it into the chat box. If you just make a Google search on 2-3 things, OWL, yes, OWL, that Ulluwala, OWL, that one. Yeah, it is their name of the website. APA and PURDUE, Purdue University. Just go to Google, type these 3 things, and it will take you to the website of APA. Now it is 7th style, and they have explained the process of citing APA in a very impressive style. You can use it. You can download their 2-page guides, and multi-pages guides are there. 2 pages a quick overview the basic works which you use them. So that is the Purdue site which you can use from there. So now first let's see in humanities. If you deal with history and economics, most of the time you will be following Chicago style. If these are for say humanities or internet resources which you suffered, Columbia style, you may be following it. Then we have Harvard referencing, means the author and the date system, like Sharma, 2020, that way. And this is also recommended by MLA. MLA means modern. This MLA which you saw there just in on our previous slide, APA MLA style. So MLA full form is Modern Language Association, and they are mostly used in arts and humanities. But then there is another MHRA, which are for arts, but it is basically a European convention. It is used there. Then we have legal studies with us. So in case of legal field, they follow American, British or Canadian style. So either it is say American academic legal writing or Oxford Standard for Citation of Legal Authorities, or as means developed by this McGill Guide, the Canadian system for uniform legal citation. How do we use them for there? Now comes the scientific fields. In chemistry, in physics, in mathematics or electronics. engineering, etc. IEEE, very famous. Basically, IEEE follows that, say, for example, 1, surround it with square brackets, and 1, 2, 3 on. So you cite them, and at the end, put them in sequential order from 1, 2, 3, and like that. So they appear in somewhere in that. So there are various formats in which these are being used across the systems. Now, after that, it comes that when you do so many things, and if you have to write everything manually, it becomes a challenge. And then you first you write it or you type it, and then you put it there again, keep on processing, it becomes a headache. Because for your, say for example, your PhD research work, if you're writing an article, it's a different thing. If you're writing your PhD work, it is a different thing. For dissertation, because in dissertation there is no word limit. It depends on your concept, how long you can explain it, how much more detailed you want to go into it. But if it is your research article, research paper, there definitely there is a word limit. The journals, they may say that our word limit is, say for example, from 5,000 to 8,000 words, not beyond that. So then you need to be focused in your work from there. I'm sorry, there is no special anything. We follow what has been created by others. So not as a tradition, but we gave something Ranganathan, that is the accession number for the library books. S.R. Ranganathan, which is the world-renowned figure. We should feel proud of him about that. But that was for library books management into it there. So these are the few systems which you can try, and I will demonstrate you how to use them. They have different kind of names. We call them as reference management tools, RMT, citation management tools, or company reference tools, or personal bibliographic management softwares, or something like that. There are many kind of available, but this some of the more prominent, important, more in use as compared to others are Mendeley or Jotaro or RefWorks. Even there are many things. But before you use those things, you need to know that means you need to have certain skills with you. And the first thing is that how to search a paper. Means you are working on something. Say for example, post-COVID tension in the children, something you think that. Now you need to know that what others have done some work on that area, and you need to see. So you need to make search certain results. That is the most fundamental skill you need to have, searching skill for them. And then there are various specified databases on which you can search them, say like Scopus databases or Academic Research Complete. There you can make, and then we have JSTOR, and there are other many databases which your library may be subscribing to also, or otherwise you can simply go to Google, make a search from there. You need to know that how you can manage your references, how you store your references, from where, how do you use them. There are certain social bookmarking tools also, but when you are using RMTs, you don't need them. You can directly save them here. RMT, reference management tools, we call them as reference. These are the reference management tools. You see these three names at the bottom of the screen. The question is, why this is needed? Again, as we showed that, is it only your guide who said that, okay, iska reference leke aana hai, or if there is some serious logic behind it? Yes, there is some serious logic behind it. Why it is needed? So that if you are saying something, do you have any evidence to substantiate that, to say that something? If you something says that if the height increases, the weight increases, is there any research behind it, or it is just a general saying like that? So that's why we need certain citations. We need references for that there. But how to do them? There are so many things. You have references, you have bibliographies, you have citation, you have in-text citation, whole lot of things. Students get confused. Oh my God, कहाँ फंसा दिया मुझे research में? Then you need something savior, Bahubali aayega. Then these are the RMTs which come to your rescue to understand how to use them, and they are simple. We will see a few examples. Like you go to Mendeley.com website and create your free ID. It will ask you your username and a password you give. After that, you sign in. Once you sign in, it will take you to your page. From there, on this page now, you can create various things. Like if you see here, you have a library, you have a feed. Feed means it will ask you that on which area you are working, and then it will show you the researches related to that. If you think that they are good for you, you can save them. Those will be saved, will go to your library, or you can have your network created, because you know if you are working in a particular area, you may be knowing that who are the other authors working in that particular area, and you can follow them. Whenever they publish their research, a message will come to you. If you are interested in that, you can save that. So that software helps you in searching relevant research to your work. So how do we do that? It is always a good idea to create a folder for one theme, and then within a folder you can create further subfolders also, but it depends on your work, on what you are doing, what you are working for that. So this is way. After that, you can upload your documents also by clicking on this add button, and then you can have all these things arranged from there. Now, how do we use it? And not only the online version, you can download its app, desktop based application. Then it will work offline, and whatever the already researches you have saved as PDF or PPT or MS Word documents, you can simply from that other directory where you have saved it, you just shift them to the Mendeley desktop app, and it will organize them for your use. So what do we do? First, we add a research to our library. So for example, this is a paper reforming the Open University through local evidence. It's a long list, and we just added the PDF of that. So once you add that, after that what you do, you select that work, and as soon as you tick mark it, the export to MS Word, you see here it is gray, it is not activated, it is hidden at present. But as soon as you tick mark in this, then it will become activated, and here it will show you a preview. This is the preview of metadata about this article, and it will auto extract it, because when the file was created, it captured the metadata. And those of you who are publishing your work on some journals nowadays on the website, you know that the journals, they ask you to enter the metadata. That's why it is helpful to you. That is the purpose. If sometimes, if ever you wondered कि मुझे metadata क्यों अपलोड करने को बोला जा रहा है, वो इसलिए बोला जा रहा है ताकि बाद में आप और आप जैसे और अलग भाई बहन जो वो उसको यूज करें तो उनको इजी हो जाए. That way it extra. Otherwise, you need to type everything again and again, and people may get pagal. It saves them from getting pagal from that. So that is automatically, and then the work becomes so easy. It is super easy. Means you just need to find the relevant research for your work and add them here, and after that software does everything. See how it does. You create on export to MS Word. Here click on export to MS Word, and then it will create this XML file. It is asking you to save it, so save it in a folder anywhere on your computer where you can remember it, that where it has been saved. Once it is saved, then come back to your MS Word document in which you are typing. Go to the references section, you know, file, home, insert, design, layout, mailing, review, view, etc. there, and there you will find manage sources, the field from there. You can insert and note, etc. Everything is there for research work there. So you click on here on the manage, and once you select on that, it will open a box for you. Click on browse. Once you click on browse, it will ask you to search that XML file which you saved, and when you click on it, it will come here. It will show it here, and see on the below the format, it will generate for you automatically. And you can tell it here, you see on the top It is showing you the style. At present, APA has been, if you can see my mouse pointer, below the message sources, it is showing you style, APA. At present, it is APA selected. You can select from the top down any other format also. Accordingly, this preview will be generated in the same format. So it is showing you now. Here, from here, you can understand the citation means the thing, the content which will go in the article. And the bibliography entry means as a reference will go at the end of the article. Within the article, at the end of the article, it will create. And then as soon as you click on it, it will automatically generate it. This list will be generated, and that's all. That's the work. You don't need to type Kawachi, comma, P, full stop, comma, Sharma, comma, R, Sharma, com, bucks, dot N, dot org, then J, then 20. No. And it is not easy thing to type these things there, but software types it automatically there. That makes the life of a researcher so easy from there. So let us see another example, how to use Google Scholar for that, because Google Scholar is also one of the important research resources from where we many times we search useful research for our work, and it is easy. But for this, to create your ID on Research Scholar, it will need in your institutional ID verification from there. So you, by clicking on it, you go to your profile. In the profile, you click on the settings there, and here it is asking you that how many result per page you want to see, 10, 20, 50, 100, whatever it is, and then in what format. With text, EndNote, RefMans or RefWorks. There are various formats in which it will save the result which you can add to your work. These are the formats. It is something similar like PDF, PPT, those kind of formats. It's there. You don't need to worry about it. Mainly, most of the time, BibTeX serves our purpose. So that you can go ahead with, which is by default selected from there. Then what you do, it is again very simple. Once you have configured that, you go to Google Scholar search box and type your query. Say, for example, I typed blockchain, and then it showed me various researches pertaining to blockchain. And at the end of that, everything there you see it is written import into BibTeX. So simply it is ready-made providings, but before that there are certain other facilities into it on the screen. If you don't know, these are the things that by clicking on this double quote icon there, you can select which style you want. Here it is MLA, APA, Chicago, Harvard, Vancouver, whatever. And in whatever format below that, BibTeX, EndNote, RefMan, RefWorks, whatever there. Because certain software, certain journals, they ask you to submit in a different way. That way you can automatically select it. Simply choose what you want. After that, once you click on it, it will generate this kind of code. It will auto generate. You don't need to pay or understand it. But however, if you look at it, it is simple. This is the metadata. It is showing you the book name, the author name, the year name, and the publisher name. That's what you otherwise would be typing it, collecting it from there. When this is ready, just simply copy and paste it in a notepad file and save it as .bib extension, something like .ppt, .pdf. It is here .bib for bibliography, BIB. And then, so what we do, here are these two, first two researches. I'm clicking on import into BibTeX for these two things. One is PDF, another is a website. You can see it here in the PDF is written, and the another one is the web. There, I clicked on it and it is added. Then I went to my add button, click on it and add that .bib file which I saved there. And once I do that, the listing on my screen, it gets increased. Here is this BIB file which I saved, and I'm importing it from there. There are the things which you can select if there are other formats available, but you upload it. After that, see those two researches, they again appear in my library in the Mendeley. But next, same thing. Here it goes. Again, you click on export to MS Word, and then it will generate this XML file. You go and put it in your simple MS Word, and it will generate the same thing there. So This way, you you add all those researches. So it saves a lot of time and it saves all your researches, which later on you may forget कि कहाँ देखा था और कैसे किससे मिला, like that. So now if there are any questions, I can reply to that because my another class is coming up at 4:30. I may have to say bye to you at 4:30. Anupam Jeet saying I could not take screenshots so fast. I'm missing these slides.
Sir, I want to know how to cite it advertisements.
Okay.
Sometimes advertisements are very important. Women's empowerment. So many advertisements of washing powder are showing women's empowerment. And for example,
yeah, this is
education.
Yes.
Quite more because are exhibited on different channels. So how will I do that?
No, that's a good question, and I have pasted the link for my that article on citing of social media and research papers. Somebody was asking about YouTube and those things. You will download it. You can find it everything in there. Now about the advertisements. If that advertisement is printed, we need to see that where that has been printed, whether it is a magazine or a newspaper or what, print medium or like that. In that case, what we will need the name of the publication, the page number on which that advertisement has been printed, the company name of which that advertisement is there, and then so we will be combining the advertisement advertisers, the person who has advertised that, mean the company name or the person name, that one, and then the place means in which a publication it has been published, the magazine or newspaper's name, the page on which it has been printed, and that way we will cite it. That will go. Okay.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. But sir, if it is in television, in different channels.
No, in television, we just need to indicate that it was, say, for example, on Aaj Tak or something like that. Otherwise, because these are, temporary things. The one thing is being shown today, tomorrow it may go away, taken off from the air. So in that case, we need to tell that it was flashed on the screen or published or displayed on the television on this date, like that. But that may not be a permanent thing.
But they are important sometimes for content analysis.
Yes. Not only content analysis, actually there may be certain advertisements which are misleading advertisements, and there have been many times a movement against them. It is very funny. Let me tell you a simple case of toothpaste. Once upon a time, this Colgate company, they used to make joke of our namak and sarson ka tel. Gaon mein, the people, they will simply use salt, put some sarson ka oil into it, take it and rub their teeth. And this company used to make a fun of that के नमक से टूथब्रश करते हो आप, हमारा प्रोडक्ट लीजिए. अब एक दूसरा जमाना है जब प्रियंका, वो क्या है, प्रियंका कौन सी है, प्रियंका चोपड़ा, she suddenly drops in your home and asks you, क्या आपके टूथपेस्ट में नमक है? These things, they are really very funny. And then those face creams, वो एक रियल केस है. जो फेयरनेस क्रीम होती है, किसी आदमी ने अपनी भैंस को कई सालों तक क्रीम लगाई, फिर कोर्ट में पहुंच गया जी मेरी भैंस गोरी तो नहीं हुई, ये तो काली की काली है. तो आपकी जो एडवर्टाइजमेंट है वो मिसलीडिंग है. So these things they happen, but mostly it is for where it can be tracked. Actually, that is the purpose. One question: what challenge we may face in research citation during COVID situation? No, I think there is no challenge into it for face citation, because most of the researches nowadays coming, they are focused on citation. You need to just see that what concept you are trying to research. If you see, simply go to Google and if you type COVID, it may show you all the work which has been done pertaining to all the areas. Be it somebody manufacturing a COVID medicine, be it somebody researching what are the technology tools used by teachers, be it some kind of political tension between America and China and India and China due to COVID, something like that. A broad kind of research using citation, means in citation using COVID situation. So we need to narrow down our research. We need to explicitly tell the software that what we are looking for. Otherwise, other than that. Okay, Sikhaji is asking, I have a chapter from Shodh Ganga from someone PhD thesis. I try to do citation, but unable to do as no other details available. No, it is simple. You have got the PhD thesis of someone else there, and it is available on Shodh Ganga. To cite it is very easy. You will be citing first the title of the thesis title, PhD thesis title, who is the author of that, in which year it was accepted, the university where that research was granted, and the URL of the Shodh Ganga URL. Because for every research, there is a specific URL in there. You cite that, it is there. Sorry, Kamana ji, no standard particular way of Indian methods. These are the international methods which we follow, APA, MA, MLA, Chicago, etc., that way. Shreya ji, all the tools are okay. RefWorks, Mendeley, Zotero, they all work efficiently. It is just the kind of databases or in what you become proficient to use that. That is there. Yeah, actually this question I should ask, which Dr. Shikha is asking, what is metadata? Who will reply, what is metadata? You can type in the chat box, what is metadata? Dr. Hemant ji is asking whether we can see your lecture in YouTube. If yes, then please provide the link. I think Dr. Jitendra later on, because this session is being recorded, the recording will be made available later on, so you can find it from there. Metadata is the finding of research work. I'm sorry, PSG, wrong answer. By definition, it means data derived from other data. In fact, you had this right, but one word destroyed your Damini, your answer. Otherwise, it was correct. Simple thing. Metadata is data about data. Simple, remember that. And metadata is data about data. Let me give you an example of that. How you can make it. पुराने जमाने में आप लोग देखते हैं आजकल तो VCR, VCP कोई नहीं करता, बट पहले पुराने जमाने में वीडियो कैसेट्स होते थे और वीडियो कैसेट के स्पाइन के ऊपर एक कोड लिखा होता था जिसको देख के दुकान वाला समझ जाता था कि ये कौन सी मूवी है, किसकी मूवी है, कब बनी है, वगैरह वगैरह. Hidden into that code everything from there. Similarly, that is called metadata. The barcode is a metadata which holds the information about it, about the authorship, about the publisher, about the cost, about the time of publication, the necessary information from there. It is something like your Aadhaar number. You know, by looking at the Aadhaar number, government can find everything about us. So that is the metadata, the super data about it, without going deep into the details, the micro level data about it. That is called as metadata. Okay. Any online site to, oh, okay. This is a good question. Who asked this? It is Saga. I'm not something Saga C or something, but let me take one minute before we close it. Let me show you a good website which I have used and I have found it very effective in using that. Let me close this. Here it is. This is called a citation machine. It will come up on your screen. So this is citation machine. What you do, look how easy it will make your work now. अभी आप में से कोई पूछ रहा था कि what are the challenges of citations during this COVID time? Not only that COVID time, this will be useful to you anytime. It will create citation for you. How? First of all, let me go and make some research on engagement in online learning. Just let me make a at random search and let me search something related to say PDF. Okay, here this is a publication. It is on ResearchGate, and okay, I can go with ResearchGate also, no problem. So let's click on this. Now this is the link, and this is that article. You see, it has a license CC-BY, it has a DOI. It was published in 2012, and it is a conference proceeding. And the title is Student, and the author is Hasmawati Hassan and Hanafi Adhan. They are the authors of this. I want to create a citation for this work without me typing everything. So what I will do, I'll just copy this link, come back to my citation machine. I'll click on create citation. Now this will ask me what I want to search. You want to search what is your source, whether it is a website or a book or a journal, or there are other options from here. अभी शर्मा जी आप पूछ रहे थे मेरे से, you can see it here. If something is there for related to newspaper, film or online video, whether it is online, and here is that advertisement. Okay, and even it goes for Bible also. Blog, brochure, cartoon, chapter, conference, congress, court case, database, dictionary, digital file, digital image, email. एक कितना लंबा लिस्ट है, मेरे को 3 घंटे लग जाएगा इसको पूरा आपको पढ़ के सुनाते हुए. See, this is there. Radio, TV is there. Software is there. Okay, so you can check. Now I went to the website. So this is a website. I will go for website. Now it is asking me cite a website by entering its URL, or you can search also. I can make my search from here also, but since I have already searched, I will just paste it and make the search. And now it will take time, and this is the time it has taken inside finding it. See, it is the PDF. And now what is asking me? Consider your source credibility. Ask these questions. It is asking me that are you sure that you are aware? What do you know about this publisher? Is it a well-reputed people or not or not? You think that okay, everything is okay. Let me go ahead. Click on site. You click on site, and here this is the metadata which has captured. This is the date 18th July. वो अभी आज की डेट में हमने इसको एक्सेस किया है. Website was ResearchGate. This was the URL. This is the there, and then I can add something on my own, and you can click on continue. Here it is showing you author. Since it could not find, I put the main one, but otherwise I can type the name and first name here. And once everything is ready, you click on complete citation. It is asking me for payment. Sponsored message. Okay, no problem. And then here, okay, from glossary, what happened? See, it has generated my citation. It is showing me APA 6, but I can change the style, and I can select MLA, APA 6, 7, Chicago, Biotech, 3D, 4OR, APA, song list is there. It's a whole, it is alphabetically. We are at present at A. Up till Z, it will show you all the things. Otherwise, it is ready. If you simply think, click here, copy it. If you want to edit it, and then simply copy it and paste it in your phone. That way. It works very well. Depending on your link or your search, how do you do that? Okay, friends. Okay. Some people are asking me for my email ID or what. Okay, I can do one thing. Let me share you some details, and you can connect with me there. And these are my links. You can connect through them, LinkedIn on there, and then you can stay in touch. Can Prasar Bharati AR program be also cited? Anything can be cited, Swati ji. The only difference is that you need to know that how, means what channel you are catching, and through this. Okay, let me post this also, which I just demonstrated to you. There are actually this is the site machine, and there is one more. I'm pasting them in the chat box. Citationmachine.net and citefast.com also. you can use that. You simply click on it, it will ask you a few questions. क्या करना चाहते हो उसके हिसाब से आपको ये बना के दे देगा. Okay friends, thank you so much. मुझे भागना है, मेरी एक दूसरी क्लास इंतजार कर रही है. But I hope that I'm sorry I could not take all of your questions, but I hope that you found this useful to your work, and you are welcome to stay in touch. I have given my resources. Okay, Sanjeev ji.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you. It was such an enlightening lecture, and a lot of things have been learned by me as well as all my participants. And I hope that you will continue to, give your expertise lectures to us, so that the participants and the listeners could be beneficial for them, sir. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you. Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Okay. Yeah. Bye, bye, sir. Bye. Bye. Take care, sir. Bye, bye. Be safe, sir. Thank you.
You too.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye. I just want to inform all the participants that we have our next session from 5 p.m. The expert speaker, Professor Ganapati from Anna University, is with us. And I request all the participants, if they want to be in the meeting, they can be in the meeting. If they want to exit, they can exit and rejoin 5 minutes before 5. They can rejoin at 4:55 if they want, or the meeting is continued. If they want to stay in the meeting, they can continue in the meeting. And few participants were asking of the YouTube, the YouTube channel link was already given you on the day 1. And what happens in Cisco WebEx is that for getting the video, it takes a bit of time, because it is recorded in the cloud, and then it takes a bit of time. Yesterday's inaugural session as well as the first expert session is on YouTube now, and both the sessions of today will be on YouTube tomorrow morning. So you can attend them tomorrow morning. You can see them tomorrow morning. The Facebook link as well as the YouTube link was given to you in the instructions of the day 1. But still, if you have not got it, I'll share it in the WhatsApp group just now. The Facebook link of the department where this lecture comes live, and then the YouTube where the entire recording is for you all to see. Thank you very much. If you want to be with us, attendance will come in the next session. Don't worry. That will come in the next session. The link for the attendance as well as the link for the quiz. Quiz will come exactly at the end of the session, and the link for attendance will come in the next session. If all of you want to be in the meeting, you can be in the meeting. And if you want to rejoin, you can rejoin 5 minutes before 5. Thank you.